My brother mocked me as a failure for years. I owned the caterer at his engagement party. I'm Renata, 32, and my younger brother Julian was always the one who got the toasts. Law school, corner office, a fiancée named Brooke who wore her ring like a headline. Me, I dropped out of state college after 2 years because the tuition loans were crushing my parents, and somebody had to start earning. I started as a prep cook. My mother, Diane, called it a phase. My father, Walter, just went quiet whenever I mentioned work, like I'd said something embarrassing at the table. Julian never let a holiday pass without a comment. Still chopping onions, Ren, he said at Thanksgiving, laughing like it was affectionate. At Christmas, 2 years ago, he told Brooke in front of everyone that I was the one who didn't quite make it. And Brooke laughed into her wine glass. My mother didn't correct him. She just refilled the gravy boat and changed the subject, the way she always did. What none of them knew was that by then I wasn't a prep cook anymore. I'd spent 6 years building a catering and events company with my friend Marisol, starting out of a rented commercial kitchen doing 50-person weddings, then 200-person galas, then contracts with 3 hotel groups downtown. We named it Cole and Vane. I kept my name off the public-facing side on purpose. Marisol fronted the tastings and press because I hated the spotlight, and honestly, some part of me didn't want my family finding out until it meant something. Julian proposed to Brooke in April. In June, my mother called me, breathless, to say they'd booked the caterer everyone in the city is obsessed with for the engagement party, some company called Cole and Vane that had done the mayor's fundraiser. She had no idea. I hadn't spoken to Marisol about which events she was personally overseeing that month, so even I didn't know I'd be the one walking the floor that night until I checked the schedule 2 days before. I almost swapped myself off the assignment. Then I thought about the gravy boat, and I didn't. The night of the party, I wore chef whites with Cole and Vane stitched over the pocket, and did my final walkthrough of the plating line at 6:40. My mother spotted me first, near the raw bar, and her face did something I'd never seen it do, confusion, then arithmetic, then recognition, all in about 4 seconds. Renata, what are you doing back here? Working, I said. This is my company. Walter came over next, and I watched him look at the ice sculptures, the 8-piece staff in matching whites, the printed menu with the wine pairings, and then back at me like he was recalculating a sum he'd gotten wrong a long time ago. Julian took longer to notice. When he did, he laughed the way he always laughed at me, except this time it came out thin. Wait, you own this, this is a joke. Check the invoice, I said. It's under the venue contract, Cole and Vane, LLC. I'm the Cole. Brooke, to her credit, went quiet and looked genuinely mortified. Julian didn't apologize that night. He just kept asking how much the contract was worth, like the number was the only part he could process. I told him it wasn't his business, which was true on 2 levels. I didn't gloat. I didn't bring up Christmas, or the gravy boat, or any of it. I just went back to the kitchen line and finished service, because 140 guests were still waiting on their second course, and that mattered more to me than his face in that moment. My mother tried to make it a whole thing afterward, called it such a wonderful surprise, like she hadn't spent a decade calling it a phase. I let her have that version. It cost me nothing. Julian still brings up college sometimes, out of habit more than conviction now. I never correct him anymore. I don't have to. The seating chart at his own engagement party did that for me.